I think it was a special night, do you know what I mean? I think the next one is going to be even bigger because of the last one, but I'm not sure if it'll compare to that one, do you know what I mean? Like, for me personally, that was a special night because that was my fifth UFC fight, and the previous 4 were with no crowd at all because it was like in the COVID times and everything. So to have 20,000 people there for the first time for me was special. So look forward to doing it again.
Did it like properly gas you up? Were you like, wow, this is like incredible? And what time was your fight compared to the other guys?
My fight was last, so I was on at like 11 p.m. So yeah, there's something special about being in the changing room and feeling the walls vibrating due to the noise of the crowd. There's something special about that.
Your record at the moment, your MMA record, 12 wins and 2 losses. Tell us about this fight that's coming up, though, and how difficult you think it's going to be. This,
for me, is the most difficult fight in the division, stylistically. But I'm okay with that. I'm not in this sport to, like, avoid anybody. I'm not in there to run from anybody or anything like that. Like, I want challenges, and I've not really had many challenges in my career so far, so I'm looking forward to it.
And tell us stylistically, because we'll have fans that are listening at the moment that don't necessarily follow MMA, might want to get into it, but don't know really what that means. So just compare it. Why is his style different to yours?
He mixes up his striking with his grappling very well, which not a lot of heavyweights do. Like, he's very, very strong on top, and that brings a big threat with his boxing because you're expecting to get put on your back, and he comes over the top with heavy punches, which is very dangerous. So he can mix it up very well.
Fancy it, Ollie?
I'm watching you speak, Theo, man, and can you be really honest with me here? I can't see you being afraid of much, you know, but as a football person, you go out there and there is a little bit of fear that you might lose and you might not play very well. You can't carry that into the ring.
No, you can.
You look like you've got a belief about you, son. Is that a natural thing?
I do have a belief about myself, but I'm definitely scared as well. But that fear makes me sharp. Like, that fear brings something out of me that I don't have day to day. Like, me and sparring and me in a live fight are 2 completely different people because that fear is there.
Yeah.
And I need that fear to perform to my best ability.
You've said that you're not ready yet for a shot at the heavyweight belt. You said you still got work to do. Mm-hmm. What do you mean by that?
I think I am ready for it, but I want to give myself the best chance of winning the belt that I can.
Yeah.
And I think I need a little bit more experience. I feel like the difference between me and like the champion is experience. Yeah. So I want to give myself as much experience as I can, because I see a lot of people like they go for the title too quick, and then they get knocked down and they never get another go at it. And I don't want to be that guy. I want to be the guy who wins the title and reigns the heavyweight division for years. I don't just want to like be rushed in, have a quick go, and then get knocked out and never fight for it again. Like, I want to stay there, so I want to give myself the best chance.
What fights do you want in between then? Is there anyone that you look at and you think you've got them kind of in your mind?
The guys that I'm fighting at the moment, like, the perfect. In my last fight, I took out the number 5 in the world, and now I'm fighting the number 3 in the world, and then I'll fight the number 2 in the world, then I'll fight the number 1. That's what I want to do.
And what's the prep like? So genuinely, when you go into camp and you've got your weeks of training and everything heading up to it, and then you come out of camp and once the fight, so for example the last one in London, once that was done, how much time do you give yourself off? Because sometimes you've got athletes who are pretty much in camp the whole time, and sometimes you've got ones that go to Vegas.
I need to have that little downtime because it is stressful. You know what I mean? Fighting a guy in front of millions of people across the world, it takes its toll on you mentally. So I like to have a few weeks of just relaxing. Like, I fought on the Saturday, and on the Monday morning I was dropping my kids off at school.
Wow.
So that's a big deal.
Did you get a lot of attention in the car park at school? I bet everyone was like, wow, you've had a busy weekend.
I did. It's weird because I see the same people every day, like when I drop my kids off at the school, and I got a lot more attention that day than I usually do.
It's really getting bigger, isn't it? Like UFC in general. I mean, like as far as it's come in, maybe like the last 10 years, 15 years, you could even say, it's massively on the up, isn't it? Do you feel like that being involved in it? It's got a long way it can still go to, though.
Yeah, I think in this country it's still growing in this country, but I think bringing shows over here regular like they're doing at the moment, like that just helps massively. And I think right now is the biggest that it's ever been. In the UK, and I think it's only going to grow like from here on out.
Do you think it gets the right promotion and the right attention?
I think it's getting there. I think a lot of people still see it a little bit like human cockfighting kind of thing, and I'm trying to me personally, I'm trying to change that a little bit, and I know other fighters are as well. Like, we're not savages, you know what I mean? We're professional athletes just like everybody else, and we're just trying to make a living doing our sport. It's violent to look at, but a lot. Like, I never feel safer than in a room full of UFC fighters. Like, everyone's like ego is so in check, and such nice people MMA fighters are.
We had Bisping, actually. It was not on our show. It was on Jim White's show, which is the show after us. And him and Simon Jordan were going at it, because Simon Jordan basically was saying, you might not know who he is, and that's fine. Not many people do.
Yeah, you don't want to.
I've seen the interview. I've actually seen it.
What did you think of that? For the listeners that perhaps haven't seen it or didn't hear it at the time, Simon Jordan was basically saying he couldn't get into UFC because he thought, in comparison to boxing, it was a much more brutal sport, really, didn't he? But Bisping was great, because he was saying, actually, it's probably more controlled than boxing, because you're not consistently going to get hit in the head. They know when to stop, and you're mixing it up. What do you think?
He needs to educate himself a little bit more on the sport, the guy, because, as Bisping said, boxing's so dangerous, especially in the smaller weights. Like, they can hit each other 200-300 times a round for 12 rounds. Like, that is unbelievable. With the smaller gloves on, it's actually a little bit safer, because once you get buzzed and you hit the floor, you get hit a couple more times, like, it's over. There's no like 8 count, let yourself recover and then go again and do that repeatedly for 12 rounds. That it's a lot more dangerous than MMA.
Can I ask you a question? What's amazing, I mean, with boxing, there's not that much that can happen. He's not going to use his legs. He's not going to try and rip. I mean, how can you cope with what's coming next? Do you know what I mean? That's what I don't get.
With great difficulty, to be honest. No, that's what makes the sport so exciting for me, is because it's just so unpredictable. You can prepare all you want for everything, and you can go in the fight and get knocked out in 10 seconds, or you can get submitted in 10 seconds. Like, it's so... That I like that fear, though. Like, that, if I can't work like a job that doesn't have that, like, that keeps me going and that keeps me sharp. I need to have that anxiety. And
so you must have that incredible buzz
all the time.
How do you feel when you're not getting ready for a fight? Life must be pretty boring to get
yeah, but I like it. It's like contrast, isn't it? Like, you got like the light and dark. I don't know. I wouldn't like doing the same thing every day for 40 years. That's just not me.
I can imagine as well. You see, like some boxers and other sports, they might not do their training properly. You know, for a fight or an event, you can't in UFC, can you? Because if you've got someone that's good at grappling and getting you on the floor, you haven't got the fitness, you're in trouble, aren't you? And you can see it in someone's eyes, can't you?
Definitely.
If they're struggling with fitness.
If we're talking about football, if you're not pulling your weight that day, you've got another 10 guys who are pulling your weight.
Yeah.
If you slacked off in training, you're going to get found out really, really quick in their life. That's like what brings that's what strives. Like, I don't want to get knocked out in front of millions of people. I'll do anything I can for that not to happen. If, like, you have to accept that might happen, because that's just a sport, but I'll do anything I can in the gym and in my life to not have that happen.
So who's inspired you to do this then?
There's so many people. Like, my dad he's like a lifelong martial artist, so I just got into it naturally, and then I just decided this is what I want to do. I didn't want to work a normal job. I didn't want to be a regular person. I want to
Brilliant.
I want to do this. Like, I get a buzz off doing it.
So it was family related then, your dad?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have to do it. He didn't force me into it. Like, my dad used to go down the gym and train, and I used to go with him and see the guys there, and there were UFC fighters in the gym and stuff at the time, and I just thought, I want to do that.
Brilliant.
You notice as well with fighters, like MMA fighters as well, boxers, you can have it too, is that there's I guess because you're in control of your own promotion a lot of the time, or at least it's in your hands, so you can go on to shows like us and you're your own spokesperson, so you find that they're quite eloquent, right? And that you find a way of communicating really well and really easily, which I think makes the sport, for me especially, makes it a lot more interesting, because it allows fans to really get to know you and your character, and sometimes your character can be just as much as an importance as your actual talent.
Yeah, I mean, it is good in the sense, like, we don't get censored at all by anybody. Like, I don't have anybody telling me what to say or what to do, or I need to lean towards this and towards that. So yeah, like I say, I just try and be myself. Like, that's the main thing for me. A lot of people like to push like a little personality on, or I just like try and be myself. That's it.
Well, you're doing great. Tom, thank you so much for coming in.
It
was wonderful to catch up with you, and we wish you all the best of luck. You're in action at O2. It's UFC London, July the 23rd, so not long to wait. Tickets go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. as well, so you can get them via Ticketmaster. You want another quick one, don't you?
Also, Simon Jordan should be coming in any second if you want to pull him.
If you want to grab
and explain more.
Is he the guy who...
That's the guy,
the fake tan on and stuff.
He's entitled to his own opinion. We'll leave him to it.
I'll be trying for a while.
Bleach blonde hair, probably some sort of a velvet suit or something like that, with a waistcoat. That'll be
very
him.
Best, young man.
Thank you so much, Tom. Good luck as well at London. Lovely to have you on. Tom Aspinall there.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods, Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.